Well, welcome to the tour of Wildlife Road property in Mount Airy, North Carolina, which is just north on the Virginia-North Carolina border. As you can see, you just go north into Virginia, back into North Carolina, right at the Primland resort area. It's beautiful, about 75 acres, about half wooded, half pasture, and some really nice elevation changes. And has been under a hunting lease for the same gentleman for about 10 years, so it's been well maintained. The roads are in. You can see the elevation here, 1,180, 1,200 feet down to about 1,060. So 120 feet total elevation change, but it feels pretty good. And here's some aerial shots, much prettier with the green grass. And you can see the individual pastures and the roads cut in here. They are a little more overgrown now. They do need to have some work done to them to get them back to stop preventing growth from happening. I'm going to give you a tour using the GIS thing. Disregard the color. It's a lot prettier than that color certainly shows, but you'll see a little yellow line, and that'll be as the car goes up on the bottom left screen there, you'll see the where we are on the property, entering from the street up down the center of the property on the main road. All the roads are in really good shape. You can see this one here. I've sped the video up. It's not this smooth, and certainly we weren't going that fast, but to make it less than 10 minutes, I had to. But this is coming up to the highest part. On your left is a building that had just fallen in. It's an old tobacco barn, we believe. This land has been untouched and unused for a very long time. So climbing up here to the top of the property, I think we saw 1,200 feet. We're going to take a moment here and stop and look left. And of course, the camera doesn't really show as nice as it is, but you can see the views from the top up here. It's really quite pretty. It doesn't hurt that the colors are changing. I suppose I couldn't have picked a better day to fall in love with a piece of property when there's leaves on the ground, up on the roads, and colors in the trees, and especially as we're coming down from the Primland area. It was absolutely gorgeous getting here. So moving on down toward the midsection of the property, you can see just below where we are now, or to our right, is a ton of wooded area. And that's well over half of what we will be seeing here today. A hard left, heading down the hill. And there's a fun little trail that this guy's cut in, a road this guy's cut in to head down into the stream that's on the property. You can see they cut the edges to keep the trees and stuff from growing into the fields, sort of like the way you trim your yard. Keeps everything nice and neat, but nice elevation change to the left as we go downhill here. At the end is this stream. It's probably 8 to 10 feet wide. Obviously, we're not in the spring runoff, so it's not going to be running very hard, but we decided not to pass because across here is a pasture we wanted to see, but it appeared to be soft. We got on foot and walked, and it wasn't that bad, but nice fresh water on your left up there. There's a little hut someone's built to overlook the stream. It's not stocked, no fishing, but anyway, back up to the top here. And we're going to go around the outside rim of this. I guess we'll call it a pasture. What's nice, I think we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a smaller one, 6 different pastures with different elevations, different exposures to the sun. And I can just, it's just a beautiful piece of property with so much to see and to feel. What's really cool is as we head up here toward the top, right at the back side of the property line is the state of Virginia. So the property borders the state of Virginia. I would say, I'm going to measure it, but certainly 1,000 feet, maybe more. I'm just totally guessing here. But I think that's kind of fun. I'm going to take a look at, see who owns that piece back there. Maybe there's a chance to get a multi-state piece right here, and you never know how the political system works. You could be one side or the other, depending on the favorable terms, which in Virginia has turned for the better, apparently. I'm going to do a little U-turn here. We decided not to go down into this. It's pretty steep, and it was raining, so previously it's a little wet, but you can see across. We're going to actually back up, and straight ahead is across the river we went into, or the stream we went through down at the bottom, and across is the original road that we had come over. So really neat elevation changes from and distance from, a shooting standpoint. That's about 400 yards across there. So if you want to do some target shooting or some plinking, there's some nice range at least to get some shots in. And that's my wonderful zooming. Yikes. Steven Spielberg's got nothing on me, boys and girls. So anyway, rolling back down. Again, I'll let you enjoy the view and I'll shut up for a minute, and then we're going to go back on the original road down to 2 other pastures. So enjoy the ride here. So if you can see what we've just done, I mean, the wooded area we've done is certainly as far half again as far as what we just drove in that pasture. So there's tons to explore down there. Can't wait to see what it looks like and what's in there. So coming back down past that tobacco barn or whatever that old structure was, we're going to go back through the woods, and we're going to have an option to go back straight out the entrance, or the exit for that matter, to Wildlife Road. And you got to love that name. By the way, we did see several turkeys on this run behind us as we were backing up originally down by that creek. And there are deer aplenty on this land. But we'll take a quick right-hand turn up to this smaller pasture along the side of the property, or edge of the property. And there's this ditch. We decided again not to risk getting stuck. What goes down, we'd like to come back up, but that is much steeper than it looks. So we backed up there. But a neat little spot here too. Again, just more private. Who knows what we can do with this, but whether we do four-wheeling or dirt biking or just hiking, maybe have some, who knows, maybe we'll just never come, but it's going to be a pretty cool little spot. And we're going to go across that little main road entrance up to this last pasture, which is basically a southeast exposure. So in the morning, this will have some beautiful sun, I'm sure. I did this tour this morning at 10 o'clock. So as you can see from the sun right now, that would be a little after sun, nice mid-morning sun. It's just such a cool spot right here. And pardon my little crazy line on the bottom left of the screen. It's like, oops, wrong way. And you'll just see me do this quick get up. It's definitely time to bush hog the center of the pastures here. But the grass is really nice on this property. We talked about the fact that very few properties have the kind of fescue this property has. And it's really wonderful. Oh, here we have a nice donation of a front bumper. And looking back, I saw that it had zip ties all over the front. So that thing wasn't going to stay where it was for very long, regardless of where he went. But apparently we had some visitors on this property recently. So down here at the very front corner of the property, there's some deer runs down there we saw. And what's really fun is, we've seen, by the time we're almost finished here, but we've seen less than half the property. So it's 75 acres in total. I'd say our eyes have been set on about 35 or 40 of them. And a lot of it just to be discovered. Who knows what's in those woods? He said, don't be surprised if you find an old house from the 1800s where people used to live with some spoons, and, you never know. This is just untouched. So anyway, back out to the road, and we're in a Ford F-150, but we didn't take the new Wagoneer. I'd like to thank Jeep for sponsoring this event. Hope you enjoyed your tour of Wildlife Road in Mount Airy.